Hey guys, welcome back. I just want to give an analysis here of Ted Williams versus Miguel Cabrera. Ted Williams, of course, one of the greatest hitters of all time, Mr. 400, and Miguel Cabrera, Triple Crown 2012, MLB, one of the best players in the MLB, just an amazing guy. I just wanted to bring some of the similarities of both their swings, but yet the differences and what's going on. The swing has changed a little bit since Ted Williams played, and now the swing is more efficient, and the reason why is because the pitching has gotten so much better, and the MLB players in the modern era have, especially here in America, are more geared towards power. And I'm just going to show you a few things that are going on here. Both of them here at their stance, and as we get now to the negative move where they load up off their back leg, some similarities here, but one thing I want to bring to your attention here, Ted Williams carried his bat off his shoulder area, where the modern player nowadays keeps it more around the deltoid area, just like how Miguel has it. As we get here now to the actual toe touch, at this particular part of the swing, the modern player now has his bat like up here or somewhat up here or even down a little bit, but Miguel has it almost at a perfect medium to where most MLB players have it. Ted Williams, Jackie Robinson, what's his name, the guy who played for the Pirates, I have a brain freeze here, Roberto Clemente, sorry about that. They carried their bats around this area here, and they were great hitters in their era, but I believe that if they had the pitchers in that era that they do now, some of these guys would not have been as successful as they were back then. And anyway, as we move forward here to the heel plant, you can see how Miguel is still connected very nicely here. And as you can see with Ted, his bat is off his deltoid area, which means there's more slack here. It's not as connected as much, meaning that he's going to use somewhat of his arms in the swing, not so much purely body like Miguel Cabrera. And as we get now to the actual connection part, the connection is what I look for in my players to make sure they're getting really short to the ball and staying with that power source using their lower body. As you can see here, right with Ted Williams, his bat's already getting off pretty much, where you see with Miguel, he's still very nicely connected right to the deltoid area, which means that he's using a lot of lower body, a lot of power through the lower body. And anyway, as we get now to the bat lag area, you can see here with Ted Williams, his bat is right here. You same thing going on here with Miguel Cabrera. Both of them have a lot of good things going on. Miguel Cabrera, his toe is up here, where you see that Ted Williams got off his back foot. He's not squishing the bug. His bat, this is what you see in the MLB even today. Your toe does not necessarily have to be completely up and down like this, but it does have to get off the backside, and Ted Williams definitely did that. So anyway, one of the reasons why Ted Williams was such a great hitter, by doing that, getting off the backside, it gives you a tremendous, and this is where Ted Williams is, gives you a tremendous strike zone where the bat's already leveling down into the strike zone area, just like Miguel Cabrera. As we get now to the point of contact, you can see here both of them very similar. And one thing I look for with my players when I'm working with them, I want to see this elbow up by the mouth area, and you have this look going on like this, elbow here and then it drops. Ted Williams, elbows up and then it drops. Then the bat right here is below the hands, bat here below the hands, very nice. And as we get now to here, you look at Miguel Cabrera, his foot is completely off the ground here. It's one of the reasons why he hits with so much power, because he's getting everything to one axis, everything's to the front side. And here with Ted Williams, he's getting everything off his backside, and you can see he does a great job here as well. One of the reasons why he hit very well for his era. Awesome mechanics on both of them. One thing here that I want to show you next is the extension. And one thing that I can show you here is that in the modern era, what you see more of is there's more of symmetry, or more of a better orbit going on with swings with baseball players. You see this a lot with like Albert Pujols. You see it with Josh Hamilton. They all, a lot of players do this now in the MLB. They have this orbit that's going on that's very nice, and it stays in this one particular orbit, which keeps their bat in the strike zone much longer. And you have to nowadays, because the pitching is so good with all the off-speed pitching and the fastballs, the curves, and everything they have now. Your bat has to stay in the strike zone as long as possible to be as successful as possible. But if you can see with Ted Williams, this was pretty common. His bat was up here. See where his hands are? He has sort of a look going like this, like that. It's almost like flipping the wrist a little bit. In the modern game, you don't see that as much anymore. It's more of a pure arm swing, no hands involved. And as you can see what I was talking about here, you see how the hands have not rolled over at all, where with Ted Williams, he already rolled his wrists already prematurely a little bit here. But again, you can get away with that with weaker pitching. That's why a lot of times you see guys that are great little league hitters or high school players, but as they get into the higher levels, they can't hit as well anymore. And the reason why is because they start rolling their wrists. But anyway, great job with Ted Williams. I have a lot of respect for his game. He just was an amazing player. And you can see here back of his foot, he's off the ground, one axis, great angles going on. And with Miguel Cabrera, it's just a beautiful swing. I just love his swing. He just does so many things that are just amazing. And then as we get now here to the follow through, and this is the thing I was mentioning to you about the orbit, or the way the hitters hit nowadays. You have this finish that's up really nice, even with their shoulders. It's just one plane going on here. And Ben Hogan talked a lot about a plane. Well, it's the same thing with baseball. You keep your swing in a plane in order to be more consistent and more power. With Ted Williams, you can see here where his arm is here, and then his bat is up here, where you see with Miguel Cabrera, his bat was just in one really nice orbit going around here towards the finish. But again, you can get away with stuff with weaker pitching, and in this particular era of baseball that Ted Williams played, there were not as many good pitchers as there are today. And one thing that I would like to say about Ted Williams, even though he did face weaker pitching, I believe that if he played in this era right now, that he would have adapted, and he would have definitely been one of the top echelon players in the MLB today. He was just an amazing hitter. He was just respected by so many people. But anyway, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to listen. I wish you the best in baseball, and good luck out there. All right, bye-bye.